Good morning, welcome to Ask Coffee Online. My name is Chef Caesar. Today I'm going to show you how to make a spaetzle. Spaetzle is an Eastern European delicacy which you can find in cuisines like Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and Hungary. And you're going to see this is very simple to make. Obviously you can buy this at the store, but nothing beats something homemade, which you already know. We're going to start with some eggs here. I got some eggs, my flour, some salt, nutmeg, and water. This is going to be something simple to make. We can consider this an egg noodle or dumpling. It goes really well with like a beef stew, beef stroganoff. Also, it's used to make not only savory dishes. Also, you can use it to make something like a dessert. There's one that uses cherries. It's called spaetzle. It's fresh cherries with a sauce made from clarified butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg, which is something, like I say, you can use it with either savory or sweet. We're going to start by cracking my eggs in the bowl here. And you're going to see that this is very simple to make. It's nothing to it, and with the tools you got at home, normally there's like a little tool, it's called spatula maker, but we're going to use a little bowl with some holes on it, which you can also, I'm sure you have at home, and it's going to be really easy for you to do. Okay. Now we're going to, put my eggs in the bowl here. A little shell that I drop in there. We don't want any eggshells in there. I'm going to put a little salt. I got some fresh ground nutmeg. You can use stuff that you find already ground in the store in the bottle, but I got some fresh, which is great. It's wonderful. I'm going to mix my eggs. As you can see, there are very few ingredients that go into this dumpling or egg noodle, you want to call it. And they're all pretty much the same. Like, in Italy, we have the gnocchis, raviolis. They're pretty similar. But every country has its own version. So we're going to start with adding some flour. Okay. We're going to add some, little bit at a time. You don't want to add the whole batch of flour because it's going to get kind of thick and it's going to hard to work mixing it. It's pretty much the same process of making pasta. Now we got some water here. This is going to be a nice smooth paste by the time we're done. And like I said, we're going to cook them in some boiling water I got over here going. Then we're going to saute them in some butter, and you can add whatever whatever dish you want. You can, like I say, make a stew, add it with a stew or like a beef stroganoff. It works really well with a lot of different dishes. So okay, see what I mean? Kind of gets if you add too much flour, it kind of gets too thick right away. Now you got to work it out of my whisk. Okay. You can mix it, with your hands, but I'm using the whisk. I'd rather do it with this instead of sticking my hand in there. So, let's see. We're gonna make it nice and smooth. So we gotta, work on this so we break all the lumps down. It should be a nice and smooth paste. You can obviously do it in a mixer if you got one, but you gotta start slow. So you break down the lumps, but I like to do it by hand. And feel free to ask me questions along the way. Gonna add a little more flour. As you can see, it's gonna be nice and smooth. And normally we should, once we make the batter, we should refrigerate it for about an hour or so. But since we're in the time frame here, I'm going to go right ahead and make them right away. But normally you would refrigerate it for an hour, so you let it cool down, and it will work much better for you. As you can see, it's going to be a nice and smooth batter that we're making here. And by itself, really, it's not it's not that tasty. But the thing is, this is more like a side dish. So you're going to be serving something else over this. It's like a pasta, basically. With the pasta, we always make a different sauce that goes with it. So this is where the flavor comes from, and this is going to absorb some of the sauce that you if you make it like stew, it's gonna soak up some of the, the nice sauce you can make. Now after this, you don't have to go to the store and buy the stuff. You can buy it frozen, dry. But this is something you can make, for example, with a pork schnitzel with some braised cabbage, with some apples. Goes really well with that. Then you just saute this with some nice butter. Some brown butter goes really nice. Okay, we're almost done there. And if you see the batter is too runny, you can always add some. Excuse me. You can always add some more flour to it, so it's not as runny when you try to make them. Because if it's too runny, it's gonna go right through the holes in the spatula maker or in the colander we're gonna be using. So it's gotta have a little texture. You don't want to make it too runny. It's gonna go right through. So this is getting there. As you can see. Add a little more of my water here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Make sure you use a big enough bowl so you don't make a mess of it just did a little while ago. Okay. Now we need to add a little more water here. Because it's a little too thick. There we go. You can even, serve this with some kind of red sauce, tomato sauce. There's a lot of different things you can, serve this with. Or just plain with some saute, some butter, some brown butter, some Parmesan cheese over the top, and you make yourself a nice dumpling. Let's see. Okay. As you can see. And over here I got my water going. Now we're going to add some salt before I drop this into the boiling water. Because as you can see, it's going to be really quick to cook them. It only takes about 3 to 4 minutes to cook. Once they come to the top, they're done. So it's like a pasta really, it's like a fresh pasta. It cooks really quick. So yeah, it's nice and smooth. Okay. Now that I have my batter done, we're gonna go ahead and, like I was saying before, normally at this point you will refrigerate this for about an hour to kind of let it, come together. But since we're in a time crunch here, I'm gonna go right ahead and make them. So, but you guys at home, feel free to take a little break, put it in the cooler so it kind of cools off a little, or just in the countertop. You want to let it kind of, relax. See there? Okay. Over here I got my boiling water. We want to add some salt because you want to have some salt to the pasta, otherwise the flavor is going to go away. About 2 tablespoons of salt here. Bring it up to a boil again. Let me mix that salt so it dissolves really good, really quick. Okay. And you will see it's really easy to make them. So, and I have this little colander here. Normally you can buy a little tool. It looks like a cheese grater with a little box on top that moves back and forth like a spatula maker. So you put some of this batter inside the box and you kind of put it over the top and you move back and forth. It's got little holes in the bottom like this, like a cheese grater, and everything keeps dropping into the water. But right now I don't have one of those, so I'm going to use my colander I got. And I'm going to work this with my spatula so they all drop down, like you see. See? Just push them through. Very easy. You don't have to go spend the money to buy the tool. You can do it with something you got at home. Just make sure the batter is not too runny. Otherwise, it's just going to be falling right through the holes, and it's not going to work really well. As you can see, add a little more here. Okay. See. Sometimes you have to improvise, you know. Okay, they're dropping down. And I spent for this about $1.50 this morning, so you don't have to go spend, you know, $30 when I want all this, like, you know, little gadget tools that, you know, they make. You can do it perfectly fine using a little colander like I'm using this morning. Okay, I'll put it away over here. Now, as you can see, we want to let them, you know, cook for about 3 minutes, because the water kind of cools off when we put a cold batter in there. You know, kind of drops the temperature. And right now I'm going to get some cold water, because we want to shock them once before we, you know, we take them out, so we stop the cooking process. I'm going to get some cold water over here. Then when we take them out of the boiling water and put them in here before we saute them. That way they stop cooking and they don't stick together. You can also add some ice cubes to the water to make it colder, but okay, I'm gonna have it ready. As you can see, it's very easy to make this dumpling. We're not gonna let them go for about, you know, 4 minutes. Once they come to the top, you know, they're done. It's like cooking fresh pasta, you know. As you can see, look very nice. In the meantime, I want to chop a little parsley over here, because I'm gonna, you know, once I saute my spatula and some butter, I'm gonna put some little parsley and some Parmesan cheese. Okay, and that's gonna do it. Okay, it's kind of boiling crazy. Let's turn it down a little. Okay, now I got my parsley here. Get a little dish so I can put it in there. Okay, some nice dishes here. As you can see, it's boiling real nice. Okay, they're almost done. Look at that. Very simple, quick, and easy to make. And if you get a colander with bigger holes, the little dumpling is going to be a little bigger. This one is kind of small, so but it looks perfect though. It's just up to you. If you want to get a little, you know, bigger diameter in the holes, it's fine with me. But you know, it's just sometimes it kind of goes through real quick, and you get this big, you know, big pieces. So as you can see there, it's getting down real nice. And they cook really quick. It's like cooking fresh pasta, as you can see. No, they don't take too long. Do we have any questions over there, Joe? Anybody? Okay. Feel free to ask questions, you guys. You know, would like to know something about what I'm doing right now here. Okay. Now, I'm gonna start taking them out of here. Put them in my cold water so we shock them and stop the cooking process. Otherwise, they're gonna get, you know, if you put them in the pan, they're gonna stick to each other, and you wanna, you know, cool them off and drain them. We'll show you how. Then we can saute them right away. After you cook them, you don't have to, you know, prepare them right away. You can put them in the shit pan, put them in the refrigerator, and use them later. So you can, you know, make this ahead of time and have them ready to go. So, you know, you can make them in the morning, you know, cook them and cool them off and put them away in the cooler. Then you can use them later on when the dinner time comes. Okay, I'm gonna shut this off now, and I'm gonna put them in some cold water. You can see. Okay, look at that. Nice little dumplings here. As you can see, it was really quick and easy to make, and they're all, once they start coming to the top, they float, which that means they're done. So you want to take them out of here and cool them off for now, okay? At this point, I'm going to take my pot out of the stove here because I'm going to saute some. So I need some more room here. I'm going to dump this water down the drain. Also, I'm going to drain this I want to cool them off a little more too because the water got too hot because I put some men in there. I wish I would have had some ice. That way they would, cool off real nice. Okay. Now here what we got the finished product. They're not done yet. They're just cool off little dumplings. As you can see, they're little tiny pieces, like little noodles. Now we're gonna, finish them off. Like I said before, you can, like this point, you can put them away, save them, put them in the sheet pan, put a little oil on them so they don't stick together, and you can use them later on. But today I'm gonna show you, like, finish them off, on some butter here. I got my pan, so we're gonna, you can use clarified butter if you like to. I'm using some whole butter I got over here. Okay. I'm gonna get a nice spatula from my. Okay. I'm gonna make this butter nice and brown. You can also use olive oil if you want, but butter is nice and creamy, and you want to kind of caramelize. Or you can use clarified butter too. It works really nice because you give them nice, caramelization. On the spatula, you want to brown them off. You can do that too. Okay, take this off because I got a little too much. As you can see, it's really quick and easy to make. Cooking is fun, if you enjoy it, it's great. Everything is, like I say every week, everything is easy. But some of you guys don't believe it, but you will. Trust me. Okay, we want to kind of get this butter nice and brown. You don't want to burn it either, so you want to kind of, when it starts to get brown, you want to put the spatula in there. Otherwise, it's going to burn, and you're going to have a burnt taste. You don't want it. You just want to get a nice caramelization flavor on there from the butter. But you don't want to let it go too much, or you're gonna, burn the butter, because whole butter burns much quicker than clarified butter does. But I want the butter to start browning before I put the spatula in there. It's gonna give it a nice nutty flavor you get from brown butter. And you don't have to use a non-stick pan. You can use a regular pan. Sure, it won't stick. Okay, now I'm gonna throw some of those in there. You can see. It was starting to get brown. A little more. At this one, you can add a little more salt if you like. Want to add some black pepper too here. If you want to get them nice and brown, you can too. It's up to you. I will use clarified butter to get them nice and brown. Otherwise, if you use whole butter, it might burn, and it's gonna, give them a burnt taste to it. But if you want to get them nice and brown, You know, I would recommend using clarified butter. It's going to work much better for you. Well, they smell wonderful. I'm going to add some of this parsley. As you can see, they're pretty much done at this point. We're going to put them in a nice plate here. And again, you can use them with some, like a beef stew, lamb, or make a sweet dessert with them. Okay. Look at that. Very nice. You can top a little Parmesan cheese on top. And there you go. A very nice dumpling, which is very simple and quick to make, as you can see there. You know, it wasn't, you know, they didn't take too long. It's just a matter you want to do something fresh at home, and it's really, you know, not that complicated. So there you go, a nice spaetzle, where you can use with whatever dish you like. You can put the tomato sauce and meat sauce in there, beef stew. When you do your lamb shanks, you can make something like this, and then I'll make it go away with the lamb shanks or the pork chops. You know, it's a nice side dish you guys can reference to. I'm gonna have the recipe to go along with the video, so you guys can, you know, try to make it one of these days. And I want to thank you for being here this morning with me. I will see you next week. We're gonna be making some ceviche, and you're gonna really enjoy that too. Thank you again, and have a nice day.